On the admin front, right, is updating registered representative details on eFiling, right? Firstly, is in theory, yes, this can be done online. In most of my issues where the representative change is not going through, it's because they don't have there's some of the supporting documentation is not accepted. Either they don't like your proof of residence, or they don't like that you have the appropriate power of attorney. Um, that's generally what I found to be the main issue with the actual updating of the representative taxpayer. Okay. If, however, you have managed to get the actual representative change on the RAVO 1 changed, but the actual company is not pulling through onto your e-filing profile, that then is an e-filing issue that needs to be addressed with the e-filing team, right? So the first thing you need to do is, so for example, if you've got company A who, let's just say Bob was the representative taxpayer and it's now me. First things first is company A needs to ensure that on their RAVO 1, the representative taxpayers change from Bob to me, and that change goes through. Then it's the secondary issue is, in theory, it should then link to my taxpayer profile, my e-filing profile. If that's not if the company A details have updated correctly, but it's not linked to my profile, then we need to um, yeah, then we need to get the e-filing issue addressed. In terms of if you aren't getting any joy with respect to the e-filing, and I know there's been issues with the call center, is unfortunately that's where I would then go and say it's the branch manager escalation process, as I discussed in the previous session. It's the branch manager escalation. It would be the direct appointment with the tax practitioner unit. Alternatively, these issues where the administrative changes are not going, that's when you could put in a CMO complaint. So those three, thereafter it's the ombudsman. Okay. With respect to whether the issue is missing documentation or if it's not for the representative taxpayer, generally you're going to be able to pick that up from the company profile, because the company profile itself should then show on the RAVO 1, be able to show who the representative taxpayer is. To be brutally honest, this is something which is easier to do if you've also on good terms with the old representative taxpayer, because they can then also sometimes, if they haven't processed it properly, pull through to check who's still listed as the representative taxpayer. Otherwise, it is something which you'd actually need to be addressing directly, either with a call center or through the appointment. I've generally found it's, yes, I know doing it online is great, but if you're getting stuck, the tax practitioner appointment is often the easiest way to do it, because you can iron out all these issues at once, and you can check that the change is actually that it's actually pulling through correctly. Okay. The one real big problem in this, and I'm going to give SARS a little bit of credit here. They have seen an extraordinary amount of fraud with respect to taxpayer profiles and changes in represented taxpayer details over the last couple of years. And I mean, in particular, we had a spate over the last 2 years where they had where they tried to make the process easier, and effectively people abused that to go and effectively take over the profiles and submit fraudulent tax returns. Okay. So I do appreciate, and I think this is somewhere I can appreciate our frustrations, but we also need to look at this from SARS's point of view. People have been abusing this, not just a little bit, but a huge amount. So this is something which they are trying to figure out how to make it easy, but by the same token safe, right? Having said that, If your if your tax practitioner unit is refusing to help with updates, then please go and complain, because that they should be assisting with those. Right. The one thing, especially in the company side, which isn't necessarily going to help for trusts or individuals, but SARS, one of the things SARS is looking into is how they can better link in with SIPSI with respect to registered directors, as a way of also keeping the representative taxpayer up to date. But that's still a work in progress, nothing concrete there yet. Right.